Good morning, good morning. Let's get back to work. We got a beautiful day. We're gonna have a big one. Let's get lots of stuff done. First thing we're gonna do is take fuel and DEF up to the combine and go wash some windows. I'll fill up our trailer here. I guess there was some DEF in there. Last I knew it was empty. Somebody must have added some already. We use a little more, so we'll put some in there, and we need a bunch of fuel. We'll go up to the field. Oh, I'm gonna go get my leaf blower. Yeah. Check our oils while we're up here. Hydraulic is good. Engine oil. I have added oil once this fall, so some of you may remember that we had an issue with this combine using some oil when we first got it, the first year or so. It seems to not be as bad anymore. We did put oil in once, but it's still very full there, so that's good. I also had to add oil to this gearbox one time, so I've been making sure to check this every day as well. That looks good, right in the middle. Alright, well, we're going to get the fuel and the DEF in and wash some windows. Probably should walk down there and get our grain cart, wash the windows on that tractor too. Fueling is done, the windows are clean. Think my lights would be brighter if they were clean? Holy cow, look how dark they are. Goodness gracious. We can clean them off. Should I just do half? See if it makes a difference tonight? No, we're gonna do them all. Go through and do a little cutter bar maintenance. We've got a broken guard right here, so we'll replace that. This knife is broken, but that's barely broken. I think we're just gonna let that one ride. Let's see what else we got here. That one's broken. Should change that. This one is not broken. That's actually a long short knife that we had to put on at Wheat Harvest because that was all they had, so we put it on, and it's working fine. There's one that's broken. Change that. There's one that's broken. We should change that. And there's another broken guard. The broken guards are the worst because that's where stuff will catch and start to push. The stubble and stuff on the ground, so we got to fix those. The knives, depending on how bad they are, they should be changed, but not as critical. So we'll go through and do some maintenance here. So I got this one off down here, and then I noticed we're missing 3 bolts to hold that knife on. That knife was only held on by that one bolt there. That's no good. Fortunately, I have some more, so we will put them in if I can get them lined up. So the only spare knives that I have with me are these long shorts, and I'm not going to gain anything changing those by putting these in there, so we're just going to let them go. If they were broken all the way off, then I could change them and put these on and they would help, but it's really not going to do me any good. I don't know if we got any longs back at the shop or not. They couldn't get them for us this summer when we were putting new ones on, so that's why we got those, because it worked. And they do work. They work just fine. I need this bolt. Also, the beans are all really dry now. There's not much green left, so they cut a little bit easier. So that helps. And really, we're about done. Like, I expect to be done with beans by Wednesday. It's Monday. And if that's the case, we're going to put all new knives on this entire thing before we do wheat next year, so we're going to run them. And the reason we do that, put all new knives on before wheat every year, is because some of these are starting to get beat up. I mean, I don't know how well you guys can see it, but these edges are starting to curl up. I mean, they run in the dirt and the rocks and the just nasty conditions all fall. They get dull, and so that's why we start every year with a fresh set. Here's the guards that were broken. This is the double one that was right here, and it was about wore out anyway. These edges are getting pretty rounded. Like this would have gotten replaced before we started next year as well. This one was the one from down on that end. It was a new one this year, I'm guessing, because these edges are still very sharp. So bummer we broke that one. This one, not a big deal. Walk down here to get the grain cart. We'll pull it up by the road, wash the windows while we're here. I have a feeling we're gonna start harvesting pretty soon. It's a touch damp, not really. By the time I get around in an hour, it'll be time to go. There! The equipment is ready to go. We can see through our windows again. If Brock comes up here, he's gonna give me heck about the windows not being clean and being streaky, but they're clear at least. You can see through them, so we just won't let him come up and run the grain cart today. He'll have to go plant wheat and do something else, and by the time he gets here, the windows will already be dirty. Dad brought me back up to the field here, and we're gonna move the combine. It's time to get started. It's about 10:30, so we're earlier than normal, but I think it's ready. We gotta clean that filter out. That's what the problem is, getting dust all over my window every time I open the door. Anyway, Brock should be around soon too. I'm gonna have him go plant wheat. Keep the beans off of here. Okay, fold our ladder. Don't have one of those fancy power ladders. Ugh. Manual ladder. Got it. Okay. Watch when I close the door. The dust cloud? Yeah. Okay. Let's go. 11 o'clock. Let's see what we've got out here. So this is a 140 acre field. The shape of it looks like that. And they should be really good beans. We got a chicken litter pile out there in the middle of it. That is, yeah, whatever. We're not going to worry about that. This variety is our 3-4 bean, 3442 XF, and for the last 3 years, this bean has won my plot. 2 years ago, we had them in this field and won the Ohio Go for the Gold soybean contest with 86.7 bushel beans. So we're hoping to replicate that or even a little better. I don't know if we'll get there or not. Right here, they're darn good. I did see some 80s up there. They're gonna be good beans. That's what I see. We are gonna have really good beans. Are we gonna have 80 plus bushel beans? Yeah, I don't know about that. But these were 3-4s that ran out of moisture late, but they looked really, really good early. So we did get a little bit of white mold in some spots out here. It'll be interesting to see how much that affects yield and if we can pick those pockets out or not. But for the most part, they should be all right. So we do have a little finger here and another one on the other side of this pond up here, but we're gonna start here, get some end rows opened up and stuff, and we'll worry about those later. Well, the first full round in a field with no end rows, 74 average. I will take 74 average. That would be awesome. We might be in trouble. I just had a sign of a slug. The beans were a little flat, and this variety is a little tall and bushy. And I had it, I was scraping them in, but I got a wad and it came and it jammed up my feed accelerator. So I reversed it out, and now we have this big old wad here. And there was still a little bit, and I kind of worked it back and out and back and in, and I got it to feed in. And then it slipped to the feed accelerator belt, and that I have never had happen before. Uh-oh, we might be in trouble now. Open up our rock trap door, and we definitely got a lot of material in there. Doesn't feel like it's packed in super tight. I'm gonna go try and start it up with that open. See if that takes just enough pressure off to get it to feed through. Yeah, not gonna be fun if it doesn't. Well, it did not come, so we got all that crap stuck in there. You can see this. This is our feed accelerator, and it spins around real fast and feeds stuff into the rotor. And we got a slug of stuff packed in there. And there's no reverser on it. You can't run it backwards, so we gotta pick it out or get a pry bar and try and pry it backwards a little bit. I loosened the tension on the drive belt, the pulley there, so that it would spin if we got it free, but I just gotta pick all this stuff out. I might have to go get some tools to do it. Oh boy! We got it. Picked enough stuff out of there that it ran through. All right, now we got to try and run this wad of crap in without plugging it up again. Just let the reel bring it in. Nice and slow. Got it. Alright, off we go. After getting out and looking, I think we're throwing our fodder out the chopper too far to the right side of the machine here, and it's bunching up against the standing beans. I didn't have wind compensation in today because it wasn't windy when we started, but it's getting windy now, so I offset our spreader 3 to the left so that it's throwing harder that way and should keep it away from that edge. That's what happens is, I'm off, dang it. Forgot to re-engage the auto steer. You get material building up on that side there, and then it pushes with the head until eventually you get a big wad that comes in, and you can't see it. Look at all the dust. How am I gonna see it? Well, we've got a lot of spots like this where the beans have got some white mold in them, the leaves are still on them. They're not bad beans. They're not bad beans, but they're certainly not what they could have been. That's gonna drop. That's gonna drop. There's no way. Really? Gosh dang, these are good beans. Stupid chicken litter pile right in the best spot of the dang field. Oh, that's frustrating. Oh well. I am noticing though on my yield map, it almost appears, we'll have to verify this later, but it almost looks like our fertilizer foliar stuff that we put on actually hurt us instead of helping us. And that's interesting. It'll be curious when we get to the other side of the field and we've got some more strips where I, applied, didn't apply. We got, side by sides because we've only got one at this point, but it sure looks like right there the beans got a little worse and they were better over there where I didn't put stuff. I have a theory behind this on beans. We put some foliars on early and did some things on these beans in June to try and make them grow better and push them. And I'm wondering if we made them grow too good in the sense that they got a little bit taller, they grew more vegetatively, they put more leaves on, which is normally a good thing. However, it made the disease come in a little bit worse. And we got more white mold or other issues that affected the yields negatively at the end. And the beans that didn't get pushed, didn't grow a little bit extra in June, had more airflow and more, less disease pressure because they had more air movement and stuff. And so that would make them yield better. I don't know, but you can just kind of see how there's a dark spot right there, and they're just patchy. I'm sure that's got to be white mold, but they're still really good beans. Now our average is right at 70. They're not 80 like these are. I'm trying to figure out where the best spot to do my contest entry is. I don't think we stand a chance here because they're not that good of beans, not contest entry winning type of beans. But we still want to do the best we can, so we might go over there. This area up over here, the last time we had beans here 2 years ago was the best beans in the field, which is shocking because it's not that good of dirt over there. But it did not get any of the fertilizer stuff, and if there's less white mold pressure, they could be better beans. So, I don't know. We're going to jump around a little bit. Well, I'm doing some hunting, trying to figure the best spot in this field to do these contest beans. So we're going through and we're harvesting all the passes with sprayer tracks because I know those aren't the best, but it should give me an idea of where the best ones are. And it appears they're down here. So we might go both sides of that pass that I just made there and take those as the contest entry. I don't know, we'll see. I think we've got to, I need to go back and read the rules probably. I think we've got to do 1.25 acres or maybe 1.5 acres minimum. Measure the width and the length and all of that stuff, and then put them in a truck and go weigh them at town and get the scale tickets. And yeah, not a huge deal. It'll take me a little bit of time, but we're making really good progress. We're already 42 acres into the day. Hopefully we'll get this whole field done. I don't know if we'll make quite that or not, but that's my goal. I came over here to test those beans. Did some up over there. They're good. They're not really any better. We got a little full. Thought I could make it back on one, and I couldn't. And I stopped as soon as it said it was full, but then they came pouring off the sides. Well, my grain cart's way over there, so we got a long drive to get to it. dry beans, they float really easy. They don't stand up very tall, so they've spilled over quicker than it normally would. Consistent. The beans are consistent. They're all the same. Oh, here we go. Here's some 80s. Just trying to find the best spot. That's all. We're back over here, up in this spot, taking out sprayer tracks. Theoretically, the beans next to the sprayer tracks, or in the next passes where there's not sprayer tracks, should yield better. So if you can find the best ones that have sprayer tracks in it, then you can do the ones next to them, and they should be a little bit better than those ones were. Which means those beans right there. Okay, my supervisor for my contest entry here is almost here. He was grabbing the worksheets and a measuring wheel at the farm and gonna meet me over here at the field, so we're ready to go. We've got our strips kind of laid out here, and we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna go in that one down there, just based off of kind of what we're seeing here and where the good spots are. We're gonna go right in this spot. So, well, either my searching attempts were futile and these beans, the beans next to them are really good and the beans in the middle weren't as good. I don't know. The combine didn't say they were as good, but I also drove a lot slower and changed the parameters that the yield monitor was reading, so it could be way off for these. That's why we weigh them and don't use the yield monitor. So he is actually out measuring right now, got the wheel out, walking the length. I left some little strips there because it was easier to just use a full 40-foot header width than to try and do the math of, if it was a 38 or 39 foot based on the fact that I'm only doing 39-foot passes, and if one side of it's already harvested, it's really not a full 40-foot pass. So I just split the middle and we left some little strips. We'll go clean them up when we're done here. But we got our beans in the tank, did about 2 1/4 acres, I think, but that's also why we're measuring and not trusting a combine yield monitor. Well, we got our contest stuff done. We took the truck in and got it weighed and did the math on how many bushels, acres, all that good stuff, and got our entry submitted. So I'm not going to win. We did okay. It's a respectable number. I'll tell you. It was 78 point something, so that's good. It's not going to win. I probably could have turned in a better yield from a different field that we've already done early, but that's part of the deal with these yield contest stuff, at least the way that I've been doing it. And I don't know, maybe I shouldn't follow the rules, or maybe it's not even the rules. I don't even know, but when you sign up, you're supposed to tell them the variety and the field and, have the location pretty well set. Maybe not the area in the field, but at least the field. And so you got to pick them before you really know, right? You're doing this in June and you're basing it on potential. And in June, these beans had the most potential. They looked the best. They were some of the earliest planted, and I thought that they could have been really, really good beans. Turns out we got super dry towards the end of the summer, and the early beans were better because they were already done growing, and these got too dry, but they're still really good beans. We're not going to complain about it, right? So anyway, I'm going to go back to the field, jump back into combine, or at least talk to Dad, see what he wants to do. Brock is going to run short of wheat here in a little bit, but it's maybe 1,000 pounds. It's not going to be a lot, so we'll see what he's going to do with that when he runs out. We'll know how much he needs and can either treat it a little jag, or we can just take over untreated wheat to finish up. It's not a big deal. So we'll see where he's at when he calls me. Oh, it is a beautiful day. We're cruising right across this field. Got to be pushing 80 acres. Maybe not quite 80. I think we'll be getting close. There you guys can see Phil in the grain cart. The beans are super dry. That load that we hauled in was 9.9% moisture. So it's a good opportunity to calibrate my moisture sensor. 9.9, they crack. Back in the combine. All right, let's go. We got 40 acres to get done tonight yet. It's 5 o'clock. We got to go. The beans are super dry. Like I said, they were 9.9, basically 10% beans. Oh, that's rough, but it is what it is. We have harvested as quickly as possible on beans. We have not taken a day off from beans when we could have been running beans. Like, heck, there's still green leaves out here in spots, and they're 10% beans. So it is what it is. We'll get after them as quick as possible, but we're definitely giving up some yield being at 10% instead of 13. We have had this discussion in the past about how much it costs to run dry beans versus beans at 13 versus beans at 15 even. In fact, I have my notes from last year. They're still in the combine here. We could go over them if you want. Let me refresh myself. Well, the numbers, the calculation numbers are the same. They don't change. However, the price dollars the dollar numbers that I had assigned to these last year, they have sure changed. Last year we were using $12 soybeans. $12 soybeans is a little ambitious this year. That's not the price. We can't get that. Probably won't get that for any of this crop. $10 would be easy math. $10 is at least feasible, but we're not there today. They're like $9.70 something, I think. $9.50 something where we just sold those at the local place. Yeah. Anyway, let's go through the numbers, shall we? So at 13% soybeans, that's ideal. That's the moisture we want, 13%. So at 13% beans, assuming no FM docks, test weight docks, or any other reason that there would be a dock, those beans, you're going to get paid $10 a bushel. If you had 1,000 bushels, that's $10,000, right? Right. That's easy math, okay? In that 1,000 bushels, or in an 8 bushel basically, there is going to be 52.2 pounds of dry matter and 7.8 pounds of water if they're 13%. And that equals a bushel. 60 pounds is a bushel. If your beans are 10%, they don't correct that moisture back up. So they don't add that water weight back in when you sell them. And it takes more dry matter to make up a full bushel because you're giving up the water. You're not selling water that you could have been. So that's where the difference comes in. And I'll explain this in a minute. So if you take a bushel of 10% beans to the elevator, this is hard for me to explain. Basically, if you take a bushel of 13% beans and you dry them to 10%, you no longer have a bushel. You have 58.2 pounds and not 60 pounds. So you have to come up with 1.8 pounds more soybeans to make up that bushel. Does that make sense? Because there's only 6 pounds of water in 10% beans instead of, So basically, if you had 1,000 bushels of 13% beans, dried them to 10%, you only have 970 bushels left. You give up 30 bushels on a 1,000 bushel load. That's the easiest way for me to explain that. To kind of equate that to what we're doing right here, right now, where we're running basically 70 bushel beans. There's 70.7 it says for the field average. But if you have 70 bushel beans that are 13%, which would be a little, these beans are a little better than that. Essentially, letting them get to 10% means you now don't have 70 bushel beans. You have 67.9 bushel beans. And you gave up 2.1 bushels to the acre at $9.70 a bushel, today's price. That means you gave up a little over $20 an acre in decreased income. So, yeah, those are real numbers. That adds up in a hurry. $20 an acre is not nothing. Now, on the contrary to that, if they were 15% beans and you were combining them too wet, hauling them straight to town and selling them, you're going to take a dock, right? They're going to shrink those bushels back, and they're going to charge you a drying charge. So essentially, you would have to haul them 61,412 pounds to equal 1,000 bushels because of the extra water that's in there. And they're going to shrink that extra weight down to exactly 60,000 so that you would have 1,000 bushels of dry beans. And then they're going to dock you a drying charge of 12 cents, at least our local elevator. which means it's going to cost you $120 for that 1,000 bushel load to dry them. I'll have to do some more math to break that down to a per acre basis. Again, using our 70 bushel average yield, if you took a 12-cent dock on 15% beans, that leaves you, or that's $8.40 the acre that it costs you. So it's far, far better to combine beans at 15% or way too wet than it is to let them get to 10% moisture. But sometimes you don't have a choice. Like, we didn't wait around. It's just what they are. And the risk we have of letting them sit in the field now is that the pods are shattering. They're fragile, and if they get wet again and we get some rain on them or something, yeah, the beans are going to pick up moisture, but those pods are super fragile and they're at risk of popping open. Even a heavy rain can make those pods pop open, and then the beans are laying on the ground and your yield goes down drastically. So it's better to combine them at 10% if that's what they are, but we would have been better off getting them, days ago when they were not 10%, but we were getting other beans. It's not like we weren't doing anything then. So nothing we can do about it. Just go get them. And there's no rain or heavy dew or anything like that in the forecast to make you think these beans are going to pick up moisture. It is what it is. So we can start early in the morning and hope that they're a little wetter in the mornings, but we got to go. Look, we got a rider. Can you tell everybody hi? Oh, you got your shoes on today. What shoes are those? Strawberry shoes. They got strawberries on. Yeah, you're still wearing your jammies. Why are you still wearing your jammies? Yeah. That's not right. That's not right. You're supposed to get dressed, silly. Yeah. You gonna ride in the combine with Daddy? Yeah. Yeah. Your shoesies are on the wrong feet, sis. Why? Because they are. It'll be okay, won't it? Oh, there is a spot over here that had really bad white mold. This was the first spot that I remember seeing it, and these beans are bad. I saw some 30s in there, a lot of 40s. That's no good. Yeah, you can see that strip. Look at that. Just the white mold all of a sudden hit right there. So getting better here, but for whatever reason, right here along this waterway was the worst. What was that? Me. What did you do? Scared me. All right, well, we got to work around our kind of low ground wet hole back here. We got some angle rows behind it, and we got some end rows across there to do. You are quite noisy there, sis. You don't have a hair tie today. It's in your face. Why are you doing that? Because. That didn't take long. What are you doing? Honking the horn. Oh my goodness. It's Morelli's turn to drive. Jeez. Yeah. Sun is bright, isn't it, sis? Yes. Oh, you turned. You gotta go straight. Push the button. There we go. We have crossed the 100-acre mark, up to 102 in this field today. That's pretty darn good. Still hanging on to a 70.8 average. That's really good. You wave hi. Yeah, there's Daddy. Tractor. You see the combine in the back? So those beans coming in back there? Yeah. You getting sleepy? Yeah. Yeah. Cuddle me. What? Cuddle me. You cuddle me. You cuddle me. No, you cuddle me. And you cuddle me. You cuddle me. Okay, I'll cuddle you. That's my nose. I'll give you smooches. I'll give you smooches. Where's my smoochies? Did you find them? Where's my smoochies? Mwah! Found them. Ah, that's my eyes. Don't get my eyes. Oh, you steal my glasses? Yeah. I'm going to have to get you now. Thank you. Ah. Done with the big part of the field there. We got them 2 little fingers to do over here yet. So there's 40 acres between the two, but I already got 6-7 acres of the one done. What are we at? 107. So we got 33 to go. About. We should get it, but our sun's starting to set on us. So what time is it? 7 o'clock. We need 2 hours probably till 9. Yeah, we'll see. The wind keeps going, and we'll be fine. Every time it works. Every time. We've lost our wind. The dust is hanging. That might be a problem for trying to finish this tonight. We'll see how we do. Our ride's here. Yeah, it was bad last night when it was super dusty and dry and the wind was blowing the dust out of the way. Now with it not blowing the dust out of the way, it's going to get even worse. We also appear to have found the good beans, which is so strange to me because this is not the good part of the field. It is not. Like, the best part of this field is right here, right? Not these parts up here. This is terrible. This is usually terrible. But crap, they're 80s. Look at that. That's unbelievable. 91. I have to leave a strip, tell them to come back tomorrow. We're going to do it again. No, it is what it is. It's fine. It's a little baffling to me because this is supposed to be the good stuff. And I don't think I put any of the foliars on here, which I think we got to do some more analysis, but I think that's a thing here because these beans don't have any white mold. They're clean. This is not as good a soil type. It doesn't have that disease pressure in it, and that is a big deal in soybeans. Well, we're back in the dust and can't see because it's dark, but it's going all right. We're about done with this little finger. Another round to make here. Should have it. Man, they're still running into 80s. Dang good beans here. It's awesome. I love it. We're up to 118 acres done in this field here today. There's like 140 in the field, maybe 141, 140. So we've got a little over 20 to go. Hopefully we'll be able to get them done. There's a grain cart. It's right there. You can see the lights. You can't see anything else. Holy cow. This is crazy. Good thing we got machine sync. Don't have to be able to see it. It's just tracking. It's just there. It's where it's supposed to be. It just does its thing all by itself. It's fantastic. Somewhere over here, there's a grain cart. Oh, there it is. Man. I can't see. Wait for the dust. I cannot see it. It's right there at the end of the head. You can't see it at all. There. It's starting to come into focus. Last thing I want to do is run a point into the corner of the grain cart. That would be a bad thing to do. Man, this dust. Oh, we're up to 128 done. Good beans over here. We're gonna make it. This is the last pass. What a deal. We had a heck of a day. Sitting at 138 right now, but we'll get to close to 140. I don't know if we'll quite get 140. They were a little better beans over here. Maybe we should have come over there for that yield trial. I don't know. It's fine. It's fine. We'll see what we get tomorrow. Phil's gonna meet me down on the end here, and we're gonna unload and leave the combine up here because there's a road up here by this house, and I can't unfold the auger while you're there, Phil. Well, maybe we can. We'll try. We'll watch it. I always get nervous that we're going to hit the back of the cart because that auger goes down as it folds back and it comes up as you fold out. Yeah, we're okay there. $71.5 we made it up to. Oh, man, what a deal. All right, well, tomorrow we run the March beans, so get excited for that. we are sitting at right at or just under 200 acres. I added it up at 199, so about 200 acres of beans to go yet. 2 days. That should be 2 days. We did 139 today. That was a really good day. A really good day. Phil brought my truck up here, and so we'll park the cart there, park the combine on the other corner of the field. He's taking the semi, and I'm going to take my truck, and we'll worry about the equipment in the morning. It is almost 9:30. Yeah. Thanks for watching again, everybody. Have a great night. Hit that like and subscribe buttons for me if you would, please. Don't forget to head on over to Farm Focused. It's getting cold out, sweatshirt weather. Grab yourself a Border View Farms hoodie. I wore mine today, and it was awfully nice. So tomorrow we are going to do the March beans. Get excited for that. I know I am, and we'll see how they do. We're getting right down to the end of it on bean harvest here. 2 more days left. And Brock almost got done planting wheat today. He needs about 700 pounds of seed to finish planting the wheat. So we're going to get that around in the morning. We'll try and spread some lime if we get time, but we're going to have to get going with the combine pretty early too, I think. So have a great night. See you in the morning.